So hello again, everybody. My name is John D Healy. My podcast is called It's Good to Talk. People know me because I published this book with my good friend Tony McGurn, and that's how it all started. He was born in 1941, so its stories all throughout his life. I may warn you, it has some adult content, so be careful. Go to confessions after you read it. I'm also sponsored by Liffey Van Lines, moving company here in York City, and they will be 50 years old next year. Big birthday coming up to Liffey. My guest today is Adam Cardona. He's a sports and medical massage therapist. He was on here before. The last time he was on, we spoke about the benefits, generally speaking, of massage, health benefits like for stress, blood pressure, arthritis, etc., etc. Today, I want to talk to Adam about the marathon season is coming up all over the world. As you probably know, there are over 800 marathons worldwide. And Adam is a sports massage therapist. And Adam, welcome again back to me.
Thanks for having me on the show again. I appreciate it.
Yeah, welcome back. I'm going to give a little quotation from your brochure that I have here in front of me, just to get us started. So for the likes of me, people that don't know much about sports massage, it says sports massage is one aspect of the sports medicine, and its focus is on recovery that is meant to improve performance and prevent future injuries. Adam, can you expand on the recovery and the prevention?
Yeah, well, when it comes to recovery and prevention of athletes, you're getting into more like sports massage. Whenever you work out, the person will get sore, muscles will get tightened from using it, especially the more intensely you use it, the tighter the muscles will get in a shorter amount of time. So when you start really getting into using them daily, like runners do, or any type of athlete, but we're really here to talk about the runners today, the legs will start making patterns of tightness and dysfunction. If the bones or the muscles are a little bit weak, this can result later on in injury, whether it's something at the hip or something at the ankle, on the bottom of the foot. So sports massage will get them to recover based on the specific needs of the sport. So you have to tell us like what your sport is and then explain the pain, and we can just look at it as like a kinetic chain thing, like what all the muscles are doing, and then help you recover based on that. So that way you're back in action, and the restored muscles are what naturally reduces the chance of injury.
Well, say someone, for example, on a previous podcast, I had Claire Hickey on here. She ran the New York Marathon, she ran the Boston Marathon, and she will be running the Chicago Marathon October 9th. I'll come back to Claire at the end of the show. But I know when she ran the New York Marathon around that time, you were able to give her very good advice on recovery. Can you expand a little bit on that from the point of view of a runner?
Well, there's two aspects to it. There's the sports massage aspect, which is something that's more active, and maybe depending on where you are in your training, you're maybe getting it every week to like, if it's really intense and you're about to like really start your competition, not the training, and then a little less intense depending on the intensity of your competition training. So maybe 2 weeks or 4 weeks that you get a little bit of recovery. Then on the other aspect, what people don't know is that it has to work with each other. It's not some people do one or the other, but it's the recovery work you do at home daily. This is the daily stuff like the stretching, and it's such things as stretching, like I just said, but then it's foam rolling. And if you really get into it, then there's other things like massage guns and like recovery sleeves where you put on something on your arm, or I did a video of one you put on your legs, which is more for runners, and then you sit there and it kind of gives air pressure. Not really a massage like a way a professional can, but it's some form of massage just to help with recovery. And the combination is what helps people recover. And I noticed out of all athletes, runners are one of the top 3 groups that come in for injuries. The other people are yoga practitioners and CrossFitters.
Okay, my guest today is Adam Cardona. He's a sports massage therapist. Adam also puts out a newsletter quite frequently, which I find very useful because I like to do things that are simple and easy. So his newsletter is handy for me. The last one, he taught us how to give ourselves a neck massage, 5-minute procedure, tips like that are very good. And I'll ask Adam later on how people can get your newsletter. Obviously, they'll need your email, or you'll need their email, case may be. So getting back again to the recovery, like say someone like, we'll use Claire as an example, Claire Hickey. So she's running the Chicago Marathon. She's obviously training. It's coming up October 9th. So after she completes the Chicago Marathon, and hopefully she doesn't do like Rosie Cruz, who ran the Boston Marathon back in the 80s and jumped in the subway and got there in fast time. So, Claire, if you're listening, no Uber for you, okay? Make sure you do the 26.2 miles. So, someone like that runs the marathon recovery, when does the recovery have to kick in? Is it like the next day or a number of days after?
How bad do you want to feel for how long? So the quicker you get in there, the quicker the recovery process is going to start. The
Okay.
moment you have that run, you're taxing your body, and the taxing of your body is what's going to create the demand for the recovery. So I would prefer you to clean off your sweat and take care of yourself like that before
Yeah.
coming in. The sooner the better. Usually, like athletes, like pro athletes, we're talking like NBA or NFL, they'll go game's over, they'll do some interviews, take a shower, and then usually after that they're doing some kind of like recovery
Mm.
work at that point because you want to bounce back as quick as possible.
Mhm.
And if you're not doing it, your competitors are going to do it, so you're giving them the pass to win a little bit as well.
That's very interesting. Okay. So, so the sooner the better that you deal with it. And I suppose that goes for any ailment, like be it a medical ailment or someone feeling a cold or flu coming on. The sooner you address the problem, the sooner the problem is solved. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you don't want things to grow. You don't want things to get any worse because it's a lot cheaper and quicker to fix it the sooner you get on it.
Right. That's good advice too.
Yeah.
Very good advice actually. So then, are there other tips we say for someone like Claire again? How about diet, for example, drinks or liquids or?
Oh, well, I'm not as much of the dietitian. I'm more of the trainer and the recovery expert. But yeah, you should be eating smarter overall. If you're eating junk food and highly processed food, you're not really going to have the energy that you need to perform as well. So if you're really like obsessed with like doing your personal best, then it's also about adjusting every little factor. So diet, sleep would be important because I've seen an uptick of people that injuries go through the roof once the sleep starts getting at 6 hours or lower, just because a lot of repair work happens when you sleep, which is one of the reasons I advise people after some intense training or intense competition, you get the massage and you put aside 8 hours. Even
Okay.
if you don't get 8 hours there, you're trying to sleep for the full 8 hours so your body has the maximum time to
Right.
recover.
So sleep, that's an interesting one. I wouldn't have thought of that because it comes back. If I sleep, I sleep. If I don't, I don't. When I'm awake, I know I'm alive. So we covered the recovery aspect of it. We covered some of the diet aspect. We covered rest and sleep. So for people to get in touch with you, where are you located here in the city?
I am on Park Avenue between 56th and 57th Street.
And how do you put up your website later on, I guess?
Yeah. We'll have it come up on the screen. It's elitehealersmassagetherapy.com, and we'll just have a link in the description.
Okay, good. I find this brochure quite helpful, actually. And again, I will plug again the little short video links you send. They're only less than 5-10 minutes. But I like those ideas that you can teach somebody like me who's maybe not totally lazy, but not a complete athlete either. So those things are good for me. Basic, simple things that I can do. Pardon the pun. Let's say one step at a time. So go ahead.
Yeah, I created a YouTube channel, Elite Healers Sports Massage, because as I was trying to help people, I would help them and I'd give them homework and they'd struggle to remember, and good intentions pave the path to hell. So I did that to start by giving them homework of things to do, but now it's tips, tricks. It's just also some product reviews, things that are really helpful for anybody who's athletically minded or wants to get better about it.
Yeah.
Some workout reviews so you can begin to work out. I know I'm primarily a massage therapist, but I've had more than a decade and a half of fitness trainer experience, so I throw that in there too.
Yeah, and as well as that, you recently sent me one for the moving company, for the movers, people that are working, say, with back problems and leg problems and, I suppose stress in general. And those tips are very, very useful as well and good. And they don't take as long or as endurance as they sound. I mean, anybody with any level of fitness, I think, would be able to achieve them. And that's what I like about the way you make it simple, that the average person could do it. You don't have to be a trained marathon runner per se. So getting back to Claire again briefly, she's running, as I said, October the 9th. And the other thing about people that run marathons is they all like to help in and do something for charity. And that's a double win there. So Claire is doing a fundraising event this time, and it's for the Palestine Children's Relief Fund, which is a very good cause. And Claire is a very generous, kind person. She's a good friend too, and a good friend to Adam because he helped her with the last marathon, and I'm sure they'll meet and talk again. So you're located on Park Avenue, and I guess you have a team of other people on your
Yeah,
crew.
I have a team of people, and because there's not too many like proper like places that there's a lot of spas, but not the people that specialize in sports massage. I've really been working on my proprietary process to find these specialists in the field and then develop them further to really maximize the athlete's experience, because that's really what I focus on, because I see that athletes are underserved. Their recovery is underserved. So, and it's a lot of spa and other stuff, but nothing specific to the athlete. So I make sure myself and the team are properly trained
Right.
for athletes.
Okay. The New York City Marathon is coming up November the 6th, which is coming up around, another month, 5 weeks,
Oh, yeah.
6 weeks. I'm sure you'll be busy for that. What other marathons are you noting?
Well, yeah, there's a few things, but real quick about the New York Marathon, if you can, the week after, I still encourage you to get it same day or the day after, but the full week after, if you can prove that you ran the marathon, then you'll get 20% off. But there's people like, even this week, I had a few people come in because today's Friday the 23rd, and on Sunday the 25th in Berlin, Germany, some New Yorkers are heading over there to run the marathon, and I was kind of surprised. I had a total of, between myself and the team, 5 people come in. They're going from New York overseas there. But then there's stuff like Colorado Springs in October 1st. Then, of course, like you said, Chicago, but then there's also another one in Long Beach on October 9th. You have Atlantic City. So, John, you want to get out there. Atlantic City is not far from New York. It's on October 23rd. But then the end of the month gets really interesting because you have the Marine Corps. They have one on October 30th, so they have their own marathon. And then you have the more spooky kind of fun stuff. Like there's a zombie run in California, which I just heard about it, so I'm gonna have to look it up, because I imagine if people are dressed like zombies or zombie hunters, that'd be kind of funny. Do they start running like zombies? But then if they're running like zombies, that's gonna beat them up, and they're definitely gonna need a sports massage. And then there's one interesting one in Ohio. It's the Haunted Forest Run, which I don't know if I want to be running through a haunted forest. That sounds kind of scary. And then finally, the New York Marathon, of course.
Excellent. Well, I'm glad you brought the point up, because, like as I said earlier on, there are over 800 marathons worldwide. And the other thing about people that run marathons, as you said, people travel all over. Like Claire has been all over, I guess. I'm sure she did Dublin too, from my home city in Ireland. And 800 marathons, people follow it. There's also a wheelchair division in the marathon race, which is interesting. And the other thing, when you said there about people coming into you for the 20% discount to prove, well, one thing Rosie Roos did establish when she cheated in 1980, I think it was, when she cheated that time, since then they put a chip on the runners to make sure that they actually run the marathon. So no cheating allowed in the marathon. And no one's going to cheat Adam either. As my father used to say, tell the truth and shame the devil, always. So it's good to talk. That's the name of our podcast. My guest is Adam Cardona. He's a sports massage therapist based here in Manhattan on Park Avenue. Yes, and bring in proof that you ran the marathon, New York City Marathon, November the 6th, and get a bail of 20% discount and get your recovery. As Adam says, the sooner you start, the sooner you finish. And the sooner you start the recovery, the better you'll feel, and you'll be back in shape and able to run again. Now, did we leave anything out, Adam?
Yeah, they can follow, if they want to watch me on YouTube, they can follow Lee Healer's Sports Massage and on YouTube, and it's www.leehealersmassagetherapy.com if you're in New York and need a treatment, whether it's sports massage or if you're just recovering from injury or just want to prevent injury or your body hurts. We can take care of all of those.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that as well, about the chronic medicine massage that you provide, because I did refer clients to you before, and they were very happy when they left Lennox Hill Hospital to get to you and then make a fast recovery on that. People kind of forget that aspect. They tend to come home from hospital and just lie around and hope pain goes away.
It's not even where they cut you open. Once they cut you open, your body has to protect that area, so all your other muscles work too hard. And then what happens is you get all these body aches and pains that massage can really help. It's not just the site of the surgery or the injury, but all the other overworked muscles too. People don't realize that until they get hurt.
Right, that's very interesting. So if anybody's tuned in to our podcast today with Adam Cardona, sports massage therapist, I'm going to be giving away some free DVDs. They're light-hearted humor and stories by Stoney, just to cheer you up if you are recovering after hospital or after a marathon. It's good to talk. It's good to laugh too.
Yeah, Stoney's very funny. I'll say that.
Okay, he is funny indeed. Funny, peculiar, funny, haha. So it's good to talk. It's the name of the podcast. Tune in. And also tune in to all my other podcasts, and especially the one we do about Claire. There's about 40 different podcasts and more coming up in the coming weeks, of course. Try to get them out every week.
Oh, and by the way, I have on my YouTube channel, I have a playlist just dedicated to runners. So if you're serious, you can just click on that playlist and geek out and learn a lot about, taking care of yourself to prevent that injury and to perform at your best.
Right, that's very interesting, actually. Like, I do enjoy those little clips that you send out, and people should get on your email list so that they get the updates.
Oh, yeah, if you want to be on the email list, then you could either go to the website at www.elitehealersmassagetherapy.com and scroll to the bottom, or you can email info@elitehealersmassagetherapy and just, with your email that you want on list, and just tell us you want to be on the mailing list.
All right, that's interesting. And they don't have to necessarily be ranked to
No.
No,
You just have to have interest in it, and we give tips and tricks and let you know what's going on with us, and we help you out,
That's very kind and very generous as well. All right, Good to Talk is the name of our podcast. My guest, Adam Cardona, sports massage. Marathons are coming up, and the marathons are coming up. So I'll say goodbye to everybody and run carefully and recover fast.